correctly, a Caitlin Clark Nike shoe. Now, this isn't Caitlin Clark's signature shoe, but it is a Caitlin Clark Nike shoe. I believe this is kind of like going to be a prototype before they release her shoe and the nature of her game. I believe they're definitely going to price them around Kobe shoes. Kobe shoes anywhere from between $200 to $600, bro. Like, Kobe shoes is up there. But let's dive into this story right now. Now, mind you, these are Kobe shoes. Kobe shoes are a little pricey, bro. I'm thinking that they're going to try to price Caitlin's shoes around the price of Kobe's, just how big of a star she is.
What if I told you a rookie just tore up the entire sponsorship playbook? Caitlin Clark walked into a Nike event and not only signed a $25 million deal for herself, but demanded they sign her teammate, Sophie Cunningham, too. That's never been done before in this league. Why Sophie? How did Clark have that kind of power already?
It stated the Nike Kobe 5 Protro Indiana Fever is unofficially scheduled to be released later this year. Most player-exclusive colorways never hit shelves. This pair at the Fever vs. Sun playoff round 1 game and shoot-around not worn in the game. They made their second appearance in her Rookie of the Year shoe. Now, these are these shoes right here. But, like we say, I believe Nike is doing something that they never did before. They're trying to gauge the price of Caitlin's shoes. I bet money that's why they're doing this. It says Caitlin Clark first debut.
This move changes the conversation around women's basketball forever. And you're about to see exactly why it's not just about a shoe. It's about rewriting the rules of loyalty and influence in the WNBA. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine this.
One of your teammates, arguably one of the biggest stars the WNBA's ever
Who's that?
had. Her name rhymes with Schmaitland.
Heartland?
Yeah. What has that been like, seeing her not only...
Like, it is a cult following. I'm not kidding.
No, it's wild.
Like,
The airport today.
Insane.
It was like 22 everywhere.
Anywhere you go, like, it is a home game wherever we play. Like,
No way.
security with her 24/7. Like, people are outrageous. No,
Is that fair to say? Okay.
Not even just the league, but like
The
women's
sport?
basketball as a whole around the
Yeah.
world. No, I think it's awesome. I think it's so funny because she's like 22, 23 years old and the whole world is watching her.
Yeah.
A rookie walks onto that stage, cameras flashing, the Nike logo glowing behind her. Everyone's expecting her to hold up her new jersey, smile for the photos, thank her family, the usual stuff. Instead, Caitlin Clark walks off the court and into history by signing a $25 million endorsement deal. And then, without even blinking, she completely rewrites how this game is played off the court. This wasn't just one athlete cashing in. It was a moment where everyone in the room realized they were watching something bigger unfold right in front of them. Normally, we all know how sponsorships run in pro sports. Companies like Nike or Adidas throw massive money at one face, one superstar, and then plaster that face on billboards.
That's why she did not. I don't know how true that is. Caitlin was going to get a signature shoe regardless. Kobe's shoes are just great basketball shoes. I know that because my son played basketball. Now, some of the comments, this is from the 12th, from February 12th. The goal was to make CC the face of Kobe until she decided to opt for a signature shoe. Those are clean. Somebody said, I want Nike CC 1. Somebody else said they are hard. We'll sport those. And
they make shoes, jerseys, video ads, and the spotlight sticks on one person only. The teammates around that star, they usually keep grinding quietly in the background, wearing the same brand, maybe tossing a smile in the photo shoots, but never touching the headline deals. That money almost never trickles down. It's one contract, one name, and none of the sharing. That's why the entire building froze when Clark signed the deal, and then, right there in front of everyone, told Nike they needed to sign Sophie Cunningham too. You could feel the shock ripple through the crowd because nobody does that. Not in basketball, not in football, not even in baseball. Endorsements are all about individuality, about building a single global image. Here was a rookie flipping that upside down as if it was the most normal request in the world. And let's be real here, this doesn't usually happen in men's sports either. We've seen top NBA players like LeBron James or Steph Curry get lifetime sneaker deals, but they don't turn to Nike or Under Armour midway through that contract and say, "Oh, and while you're at it, grab my teammate too." Same goes with NFL stars. Quarterbacks rake in millions for commercials, but do you ever see them fighting to make sure an offensive lineman gets a signature deal with them? Not really. The idea itself sounds almost unreal because pro athletes are trained to think me first when it comes to endorsements. Now here's the twist. Sophie Cunningham isn't a rookie phenom like Clark. She's not the kind of player usually handpicked by brands looking for the next face of women's basketball. Sophie's known as the grinder, the hard-nosed veteran who does the dirty work that doesn't always show up on highlight reels. She hustles, she defends, she dives on loose balls, she keeps things steady when games get messy. That veteran grit has built her reputation, not flashy numbers. But Caitlin's choice wasn't random. Since the moment Clark entered the WNBA, Sophie has been like the teammate who always had her back. When Clark faced the growing pains of adjusting to the pros, Cunningham wasn't just another body on the court. She was the one checking in, giving advice, showing genuine support. It's trust built over months, not hype built overnight. Clark saw something in Sophie that didn't make the headlines, and she decided that part of her own success should include shining a light on it. When Sophie realized what was happening, the moment got even heavier. Cameras caught the emotion all over her face, eyes watering, caught off guard, and honestly, it didn't feel staged. This wasn't some polished PR maneuver. It was a raw, very human moment in a world filled with manufactured applause lines. Tears on a Nike stage don't come often, but Sophie had them because she knew exactly what it meant. A veteran who'd spent years grinding for respect suddenly had her name called in front of the entire league, and the weight of that hit her instantly. Caitlin could have made that whole event just about herself. She could have played the role sponsors wanted and smiled on billboards while enjoying her $25 million paycheck. Instead, she dragged Sophie Cunningham right into the spotlight with her. That single act changes how we look at endorsement power. It's no longer just an athlete striking a deal. It's an athlete using leverage to lift someone else up with her. That shifts the power dynamic from a company picking winners to players deciding who gets to eat at the table too. And that's where this story isn't just about shoes or cash. It's a cultural reset that every single person in the WNBA is now watching unfold because the shockwave from one rookie's choice could ripple across the entire league. Caitlin's move wasn't really about a sneaker contract. It was about showing that power in sports doesn't have to be used only for yourself. She proved stars can drag their teammates into the spotlight instead of keeping all the shine. That flips how we think about loyalty. So here's the challenge. What happens if more athletes start doing this? Imagine quarterbacks getting linemen paid, or all-stars demanding brands back their role players. It changes the entire system. The image of Clark and Cunningham standing together in Nike gear isn't just a photo. It could be the model for future generations.